Here we go. Back in this saddle now. Welcome back. Hey, Ken. One of my lovely Twitch followers has just messaged in the TikTok chat. There you are, Ken. Superfan Rivers, welcome back. Of course, as you guys know, all of the superfans get their red carpet welcomes. So there you go, Rivers. And hello to you too. And for those of you that don't know, of course, superfans are just the subscriber title. That's just what the subscribers on TikTok Live are called. They used to be called subscribers, but now they're called superfans. Kat, hello to you too. What's going on? How was your day? We are just waiting for people to get on in here. Hopefully, everyone will be able to be here. Kat, you're looking at it. You're looking at it. I'm sitting here on the stream with you guys. Like I do. But I'm glad that you had a good day. Very glad, in fact. Yes, indeed. Hopefully, everybody will be able to show up and I will not be sitting here staring at my screen. Very good, Rivers. Thank you for sharing the live with all the people you possibly can. And thank you guys for reposting the live. Appreciate that a lot. And thank you for liking the live too, of course. We're halfway to 1K already. We're getting there. Getting there. On the road to 1K. So yes. Hope you had a good day. Hope you're doing good right now. And I am just going to continue to sit here and wait for people to arrive. That's good. Good for you. Thank you to all of you who are liking the live. You're doing great. You're doing great. I'm glad you had a good day, Ken. Sorry to hear that. But, yeah. Now's the time to forget your stress. This is what we're here for. To not deal with the stress of the day. We can talk about it, sure. But we forget about it here. We have a good time. Nothing but a good time. Cats love the bathroom. That is a fact. That is absolutely a fact. They really do. Welcome back, Yit. Thanks for sharing the live premiere. I have a very, very, very special place in my heart for those of you who share the live, like the live, and also, of course, those of you that are my amazing super fans. Ivy is in here, yes. Obs, thanks so much. I'm glad you think so. I appreciate it. Good morning, Mo. Welcome back. Thanks for liking the live, Obs. Hey, Momo's jumping on the share train too. Love it. Thanks for sharing the live, Mo. You're killing it. Well, you know, it's great to see you all. It's a little quiet right now. Hopefully that changes soon and we get more folks up in here. But if you're in here and you want to rectify that, typically the best way is to make sure you're liking the live. That will get more people in here faster, and we can get this thing going. And of course, sharing the live, like Momo, Rivers, and Premier did already. Well, we had a good Twitch stream, though. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. I know you guys have been missing it a lot, and so have I. So I've been wanting to give you guys that extra time with me, and it has been great. Today was, of course, day one of being back there, and man, it was so much fun. So I am loving that. Of course, we'll be back there tomorrow, and then, as usual, after that ends, we jump over here. It's been a few months, yep. Yeah, whatever landscaping company they hire is doing not too great of a job, and that's too bad. That's too bad. Spoon, what's up? How did I come up with them? I just thought of them. I don't necessarily know how to describe how something came to my mind, but they just came to my mind. There's not like a super crazy story behind them or anything like that. It just basically is what it is. Thank you for being in the chat though, Amira, and getting this stream growing. I have not, Mario. I don't think I ever will. I'm doing good, Jolene. How are you? Menace, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the community. I'm glad you're doing okay. That's good. Thanks for the heart me, Momo. Thanks for liking the live, Rivers. $3K so far. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Last time you were in here, I talked about a lot of things. I only talk about one topic for maybe 5 minutes at the most. But yeah, that was like a day or two ago. A day or two ago. Wasn't that long. Wasn't that long ago. But I can't remember exactly what it was. Something about spending time with family, I believe, was kind of the situation. Pen, what's going on? For work, I own a business, and then yes, the other two things that I do are music, which I'm a musician, a singer, and a musician. In like I play most instruments, um, and so I do music, and I also do um, streaming. You're looking at it. My favorite rock band. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't really have a favorite band. So my cheat answer to that question is me. I'm my own favorite artist. That's what I go with to cheat on that question. Um, because I don't really have an answer, really. My favorite artists change all the time, and I don't really think I can ever place like top artists, so to speak. Um, Deleuze, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the community. And no, I don't have any plans tomorrow. Well, I'll tell you what my plans are, as they are every day. I will be here with you guys. Of course, before this stream, we'll do our Twitch stream, um, which consists of YouTube reactions and gaming and things like that. For those of you that want a little extra time with me. And then after that, I will be here doing our regular just chatting stream like we do here. But during the day, I'll just be working on editing videos for you guys. Because honestly, I think I'm like 20 videos behind, and where most of the videos that I edit or work on for you guys, a lot of them are like an hour long or even sometimes 2 hours. So it takes a long time to edit them. It really does. But I do enjoy it. It's just time consuming. So that's going to be the bulk of tomorrow, honestly, just for my regular daytime work. And Rivers, I would say, how long have I owned the business? Would be 2 years. 2 years. That's what I would say. About somewhere in there. What are you doing? What are you doing? Yes, well, that's very true. Your dictionary will comfort you. If you burn a dictionary, it's worse than burning the Bible, honestly. Those are words in there, and words are power, and words are everything. I wish my dad bought me a dictionary. But yeah, ultimately you will be fine. If you don't get um, accepted into the sorority, I'll tell you what, it will be okay. It probably feels like it's everything right now. And I hope you do get in. But of course, ultimately, the best things in your life, including your actual education, are still intact. They're still intact. And that's what matters. But yeah, you better give that dictionary to somebody else. If you're gonna burn it, don't burn it. Just give it to somebody else. That's probably the move. That's a better move. That's what I would highly recommend. Good. I'm glad we're getting the chat moving now, so that's very helpful and very good. Thanks, Jem. Appreciate that. I appreciate that. It's a skilled it's a skilled sort of work that the business is. Um, Now, if I there's not a whole lot of people that do it, so I have to be careful about what I say that would nail me down and tell you exactly, like if you figure out that, then you figure out a whole lot of personal things, I guess. So, but I'll tell you what, it's a skilled business. It's a skilled business, and um, I'm always out helping people, and a lot of the times, half the time, I might be at my office. The other half of the time, I might be out directly at people's houses, assisting them with whatever problem they might have and things like that. Hey, you know what's going on? My day was good, and I hope your day was also good. Yeah, well, I mean, Ken, it's obviously an ongoing joke between you and him, and that's kind of the situation there. So yeah, I get that. That has to be annoying. Albie, what's going on? Yeah, so I just don't know. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like a welder, a plumber, things like those are skilled work that are really lucrative businesses to have. So it's that sort of kind of thing, but it's not either of those. What inspired me? Enjoying the work. I used to do work with another company that did the same stuff. That was my introduction to it. Of course, I learned all the skills and all of the background things that I really needed to know. Thanks for the follow, Jem. Welcome to the community. And so yeah, from there I realized and learned over the course of doing it for maybe a year, that I really enjoyed it, and I realized mainly too was how lucrative it was, how much money I was making for the company that I was working for. And so I was like, no, I can do this. I have that attitude with about anything and everything that um, I'm interested in or think is cool. Pretty much my immediate attitude. I've never thought to myself, I could never do that. I always think to myself, yeah, I can do that. Now, how do I do it? And so I figured it out. I didn't have any special education on how to start a business 101. Like everything I've done and accomplished has been all me, you know? Yeah, just let him ride out the joke. And, don't pay it too much attention. Because when you give something a reaction, even if it's negative, one of the one of the first things that person's gonna do is keep doing it, keep doing it. So I know that I know that you know that, and so the more you do that and just let it ride out, and not give it too much of a reaction, it will be far better and end a lot sooner. Rivers, give Gem a healing crystal, please. Please do that. That would be very helpful for Gem. They need one. F, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the community. Look at that gem. Rivers is going to give you a healing crystal right now. Look at that. Just look at it. Have I tried any new teas lately? No. No. I have purchased new teas though, because recently I did run out of a couple of teas that I typically consumed. So I did purchase more and some different ones. But I haven't tried them yet. That's the thing. That's the key here. But I will soon. Luis, this is what's your favorite thing to do? You know, there's a few. I love my work. I love doing music. I love and I love being here on stream. So that's a tripartite answer, obviously, but them's the facts. And great question, Louisa. Welcome to the stream. Who else? And who hasn't told me about their day yet, huh? Who hasn't hit me with anything in the chat yet? You don't have to. But you know, I would love to see your name in the chat. I would love to hear from you. Just so you know. $10K! Killing it. Killing it. Amazing work, Rivers and friends. Rivers and the others of you. I see you, and I appreciate you. I do. Demon, thank you. I appreciate that. And you know what? I'm pretty glad you think so. And thanks for the heart puff, Louisa. I missed it. I missed it. There we go. What's up, Nancy? Welcome back. And if I didn't say this already, I don't think I did. Thank you for the follow, Demon, and welcome to the community officially. It is great. Great to have you officially a part of the community now. Starbucks is always having those boycotts. Always. Always. They can't help it. They can't help it. People gotta have their Starbucks. Okay, Demon. Well, have a nice night. I'll see you in the next stream, as this is a daily stream. We do this every day, baby. We do this every day. Ah, Nancy, you missed it. You missed it. I get it. I get it, Nancy. It happens. I was streaming, I was doing the gaming stream a little bit earlier. So sometimes that doesn't quite match up with your guys' schedules. Just like sometimes this later in the day TikTok just chatting stream isn't gonna line up with a lot of people's schedules as well. But Nancy, it was amazing. It was literally amazing. It was really, really good to be back. And of course, you'll have another chance tomorrow because I'll be there again tomorrow, prior to this stream tomorrow. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll do a gaming stream again. It's either always on Twitch. It's one of two YouTube reactions or gaming, but sometimes it's half and half too. Just depends. Just depends. You followed so that you could make sure you make it when you're not working, Of course. No reason not to follow not to follow me over there just because you can't make one stream, you know what I mean? I'm sorry to hear that, Rivers, but hopefully by the time the stream's over, they will stop doing that. You will be here with me. This is your nightly routine. And hopefully they won't be doing it for a super long time. Your entire neighborhood is arguing, Louisa? Wow. That's quite something. 13K, guys. 13K likes. Amazing. How big is your neighborhood? Because neighborhoods are typically like, it can be like 50 to 100 people in a neighborhood. So I just doubt that that's like actually real. That they're all arguing at once. But that is very interesting. That's very interesting. Yeah. So you live in a town of 3 people or something? A neighborhood of 3 people, sorry. Well, ultimately, you just have to live in the world that is created for you, Ken. There's not much you can do about it. You just have to go with the flow. It will only stress you out more and more if you're wishing that the world were different. But try your best to enact the change you want to see in the world. If you don't want them and you think it's not going to work and you're truly behind this issue, then go to your school board, campaign for this, and bring it to their attention. Try your best. But you know what? It'd be cool to have a college town. It'd be real cool. And it can work, that we aren't architects and city planners and, all these different things. So it's possible. It could work. Maybe. I'm not saying it can, but maybe. And Superfan Luna is here. Of course, guys, if you're new, all of our superfans do get their red carpet welcome and priority replies. Welcome back, Luna. And I'm glad you agree, Louisa. And I'm also sorry to hear that you're dealing with a lot of people yelling outside. That is never fun, Louisa. Never fun. Hello, Zen. It definitely is, Nancy. This is where we come to forget our troubles and just have a good time. Talk, ask me questions, ask me for advice, and get random seminars on science, psychology, philosophy, whatever topics that I happen to specialize in. It is a good place, folks. It is a good place. We're almost at 15K likes, by the way. You're absolutely killing it, baby. Absolutely killing it. Shy, thanks for liking the live. Well, here's the thing, Shy. Don't be too upset about it, because any insult that somebody levies at you on a live stream, most likely, unless they literally were the host and they somehow like had their phone out and were like going to your profile, they haven't even seen what you look like. They haven't even seen what you look like. So they're just calling you a name. And what the heck does that matter, you know? But, well, that's super rude then. So they did exactly what I said that they possibly could have done. Yeah, well, we don't do that sort of shit here. This is obviously just negativity doesn't live here. You're gone if you pull any sort of rude stuff, anything like that. So, of course, I've got to follow my own rules here. So, yeah, I mean, just sounds like a toxic, poisonous place then, Shy. And that's fine because the beauty of live streams is you can leave, you know, and you're here now. Obviously, TikTok wanted you to find me because TikTok understands what sort of vibes and what sort of community that I have here. So, you know, welcome and enjoy because you're 100% welcome here. And you will not receive any hate like that. I wouldn't say we really talked about the Pythagorean theorem. I just said, I just gave the equation and said, I'm amazed I remembered that. And then said, it has to do with geometry. And that was the extent of it. But, I mean, we did mention it. Yeah. Yeah. I don't have too much to say on it because I'm not, my specialty isn't technically like math or anything. Indeed, Momo, it's a good space. It's a good space, and people are safe to not worry about random, offhand, belligerent rudeness. You know, like we have complex discussions in here, and people do disagree sometimes with somebody else in the chat's opinion, or I might disagree with an opinion and correct someone or something like that, but that's the extent of it, you know, and that's not being rude. There's a difference between having an actual conversation, because of course some conversations have disagreements, and being rude, of course. So you're very welcome. You're very welcome, Shy. Thank you for the follow and welcome to the community. Shy, officially. Welcome back, Anna. What's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back, Arrived / Carly. Cynthia, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, and I'm glad you think so. Welcome into the stream. So, no, Shy, I don't have a math degree. That's actually exactly what I was saying. So, math is not my specialty. My specialties are in every subject that you didn't mention. Well, not everyone. But what I mentioned was science, philosophy, and, well, science is so broad. Health, nutrition falls under science. Neuroscience falls under science. Psychology falls under science. And those are kind of my primary specialties when it comes to science, and then philosophy. Now, of course, yes, anything music as well. But music isn't factual for the most part, unless we're talking about like music theory. And typically we don't get questions about music theory in here. So I don't talk too much about like the physics of music or music theory or anything like that. Because if we're talking music, it's primarily a subjective thing. There's nothing I can really teach you too much about music because of that. You hear a song, I like it, this other person doesn't like it, okay, well, you're not factually inaccurate, you're just having a subjective experience, you know? So, art is different. Art is different. But yes, of course, I know a lot about music, and art as well. Have a good night, Zen. How was your day, Anna? India, thanks for liking the live. I like math and I appreciate it, and I think it's a beautiful language to be able to describe the world and the universe. However, I'm not great with it myself. I'm decent at it, but it's just not something that I'm really super interested in. So if I was interested in it, then I would learn. I'd be studying it all the time. I'd get good at it, but there's only so much we can specialize in. Exactly, Carly. If this isn't your first time in the stream and you know me at any surface level amount, you would not be surprised that I know a lot about music, of course. But you were saying anything music related? You specifically said your specialty, anything music related? And I was saying yes, but that's not what I was talking about in the description that I was giving of the specialties that I have relating to the topics that I speak on in the streams. Well, I'm excited for you, Anna. I know you've been working hard on it. So I'm excited for you, and I hope nothing but the best for you. Luna Amira asked you a question, so I know that a lot of times, like many of you do, you're just sitting and listening to it like a podcast, and not so much that you're here viewing and watching the chat to see every single thing, because you're just sitting back and enjoying the stream from the perspective of a podcast listener, which I love, trust me. But I'm letting you know, Luna, that you were tagged and you were asked a question. And honestly, you're not going to perfect your skill in something that you don't love, because the people that are becoming the best in a skill and absolutely perfecting it are people that do love it. Therefore, they're not just taking 3 hours a day and studying and like, oh my God, this is so miserable, but I'm doing it. And I would like to get there and improve. These people are doing it almost all day. In their spare time, they're learning about these things. That's why I always tell you guys, I don't play video games in my spare time. I don't watch football in my spare time. Like, nothing that I do has no intellectual benefit to me. Literally nothing that I do has zero intellectual benefit to me. In my spare time, at all times, even when I'm working at my business, whatever it might be, it is studying, learning some sort of something within the fields that I've said are my specialty. And of course, I do have to take breaks from it in order to like edit video, right? Like all day today, I've been just editing video after video after video after video for you guys. I enjoy that too. But of course, I'm not edifying myself in any way when I am doing that, because I need my ears free so that I can hear the audio of the video. $20K likes, guys. You're absolutely killing it. Appreciate you so much, guys. What do I do in my spare time? Carly asked. Well, I kind of just described it a bit. but let me elucidate it a little bit more clearly for you. And I'll keep it pretty general in order for you to not get overwhelmed with detail here. And so I can, make sure I answer all your other questions as well from all of you other peeps. So, here's some big ones. In my spare time, I'm typically just working on something else, like, I'm not at my office, I'm not running my business, so I'll come home and catch up on some videos that I need to edit for you guys. And of course that means I'm not working, doing the stream, or running my business. It's multiple things. Or I'm not working, working on the next song for you guys. See, just with those three things, you can tell I don't have a lot of spare time to begin with. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not working with much spare time. But when I do have it, I'm either reading nonfiction, philosophy, science, biography, or listening to a podcast, science, nonfiction of some type, philosophy, history. But most of the time, I am honestly just working on one of the three main things that I do for work, which is A, this, B, music, and C, running my business. So it's a lot, it's a lot. And spare time isn't super easy to come by, but I enjoy everything that I do, very much so. And I'm very lucky. Ken, you were close. It's 1068, but thank you for trying. Hopefully after this, you will remember forever. But you were very close, Ken. Very close. Thank you for letting IO know for me. I love how the community always answers for me with that question. It's great. You guys know how often we get certain questions to the point where you know the answers to them and you can answer them. Life is way too short, Carly, to not enjoy it. If you're not enjoying it, especially in what you do for work, which is literally what you're doing most of your life, literally most of your life, then you need to stop. Like, you need to stop, take a step back, and refigure things a little bit. I'm telling you this right now. And I mean it sincerely. You don't have to be extremely skilled or have a fancy university degree. Nothing. You don't have to be skilled in a certain specialty. Nothing. There are plenty of entry-level jobs out there that you would enjoy doing. And if you are, obviously don't just quit your job and then throw yourself into financial hardship, but start applying casually at the very least to new jobs and find the one thing that you think you would enjoy a little bit, please. Because if you're miserable or unhappy at The one thing that you do for more hours per day, per week, per month, per year in your life, that is no way to live. No way to live, baby. Hey, Fabi, welcome back. What's going on? Yes, IO, I am. That is the stream lore. You caught on to it. I'm sorry, Fabi, but my glasses come back every once in a while. I will wear them periodically, and hopefully you weren't just here for my glasses. LOL. But you can go back and watch the Jackson Downer TV YouTube channel and rewatch whatever stream you want. You can watch all of the ones where I'm wearing glasses in them if you really so desire. No one's trying to change your mind. And like I said, you shouldn't not go for things that you really want to do. You know, Carly, you can't think. I mean, okay, if you want to be miserable and you are giving yourself the self-defeating prophecy of, yeah, I can't think like that. I can't strive to improve my life a little bit, even just a little bit. I can't think like that. Okay, I can't do the work for you. I can't do, things for you guys. All I can do is give you the advice and the tools, the best I can, the mental tools and conceptual tools to improve, and the perspective to think, truly think. Like, what? You have 80, if you're lucky, spring, summer, winter, and fall that you get. That's all you get. You want to be miserable for 80% of your life throughout that? Hey. I didn't say you were asking me to do anything. I said that if you want to be miserable, that is your choice. And, honestly, it sounds like you're happy with being miserable and staying miserable for the rest of your life, so good for you. Honestly, there must be some sort of sadistic enjoyment in that, so good for you. I'm happy for you. Thank you, Luna. I'm glad that my voice is very relaxing for you. Do it. I believe in you. Yeah, no, you will be great, Io. You will be great. Thank you for the high bear, Carly. And that's it. Oh, I mean, yeah, of course, if you're okay with what you do for work and you're not miserable, then that's fine. Like, you're just proving my point. If you're not miserable doing what you do for work and you're happy with the fact that it pays your bills, then you're not miserable with what you do for work. And you don't have to think in terms of, I would like to be happy or relatively happy, is all I'm saying, in what you do, because you're already there. There's no reason for you to take that advice because you're good. You're good already. But of course, if what you do for work is all that you know, literally all that you know, great, good. But that's what entry-level jobs are, like I said. So if you were miserable, then I would be sitting here telling whichever one of you said you were miserable that there is no excuse for finding a new entry-level job and not learning it, because that's what an entry-level job is. You start, they teach you the skills, they expect that you don't know how to do it, and then you learn within a couple months, and then you're now doing something else that you enjoy. Exactly, Ken. You know, I'm pretty careful about what I say, of course. So, pretty careful about it. Calming and dreamy too. Rivers, let's go. I love it. I appreciate it. And Luna agrees. I love it. Actually, not that any of you care about this or really understand this at all, but I did increase the audio bitrate on the stream for you guys. So the level at which, and I honestly, the reason I didn't have it set to where I have it set tonight, excuse me, is because I didn't realize it was set a little lower than I typically run my streams. Like on Twitch, it's the same level of audio quality. And man, it has just, it's not going to be super easy to tell the difference, of course, because it's also been 24 hours since you've heard it. But I have increased the bitrate a bit so that you guys are getting literally indistinguishable from real life sound now. It was slightly less than that before. Now we are at absolute. What's coming into the microphone is exactly what you're hearing. Barely any recompression, re-encoding at all on your end. Good seeing you too, Carly. Have a good night. Kenny, thanks for liking the live. Appreciate you. And Momo, thanks for liking the live. Luna, thanks for liking the live. Guys, we're killing it. 26K already. Absolutely amazing. We've almost hit the hour mark in the stream already. That's something else, man. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Once we get flying on the with the chat, things go so fast and they're enjoyable. You know, everything's enjoyable. Welcome back, Remy. Thanks, Kenny. I appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. And what's going on, Metamorphosis? Welcome to the stream. I know, Luna. You always like that live, and that helps, guys. That helps. It helps us grow the community and find more beautiful people. You were once a new person in this stream. Every single one of you that's in this community were once a new person, and everybody that was sharing the live, liking the live, being here in the community, chatting it up in the chat, you have them to thank, because in most cases, the algorithm gave you this stream and gave you this community and gave you me. So when you're liking the stream, you're paying it forward, essentially, you know? Great question, Anna. You know I love the questions. Would I rather explore space or the depths of the ocean? The depths of the ocean. The depths of the ocean. It depends, you know, like, if we were gonna, there'd be a lot of caveats to this answer, because exploring space at the distances that I would like to explore space, you would need like cryogenic freezing, because it would take hundreds of thousands of years to go even out of the Milky Way galaxy that we exist in. It would take eons to even get out of. So even at the speed of light, you know what I mean? So if I could like just go wherever I wanted with no time elapsing, then we would have maybe space. Maybe I would give space a try, because then I could find other living organisms and find some pretty cool stuff. Space is obviously a lot more ubiquitous than the ocean. It just is, of course. But the ocean is a lot more doable in terms of, like, if we're actually going to follow the laws of physics here, then we can have a more realistic conversation about the depths of the ocean. And the reason I say the depths of the ocean is because most of the ocean we have not explored. And we are finding new sea creatures and new vegetation and new areas in the ocean constantly, all the time. So it would be really cool to explore the ocean, because as far the distances that I actually want to go in space would not be feasible by us. So even, like I said, even if we were traveling at the speed of light, it just would not even be feasible. Well, of course I wouldn't be, like, in the ocean. But again, this is like a hypothetical meaning. So it's a hypothetical where you're completely safe. Like, obviously I'm disregarding the danger, the severely high pressure of deep ocean, the ocean depths, let's say. You know, all that stuff. If in a vacuum you could just explore and just, you know, same thing with space. If it was in a vacuum and you could disregard all of the physics constraints, then the space would be beautiful. You know, that'd be even better, because space is, of course, just a more ubiquitous space. I mean, that's hard to say. That sounds very conspiratorial. And I don't know who they is, and I don't know if we're in their minds enough. You know, like, they talk about space and ocean findings all the time. So if it threatens Earth security for people to know certain things, then maybe, probably, they wouldn't tell you. If it threatened your national security, they may not tell you, to protect the Earth or the nation or whatever it might be. But nobody said anything about mainstream news, Tanisha, and I don't even watch mainstream news. Yeah, like, science wouldn't even exist if it were all just kept under wraps. So, very true meaning. No need to apologize, Tanisha. I just want to make sure I'm clarifying myself to you so you know what I'm talking about. Thank you, Nina, number one. And number two, no worries at all, meaning it is great that you've jumped in. I'm glad to have you here in the stream. Welcome to the stream. It's great to see you. Great to have you. Moonchild, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. I'm glad you understand what I'm saying. Anna, you're very welcome. It was a great question. Great answer to a great question. Remy said, I had a great time yesterday. We went to abandoned places, went to town, and had drinks. It was amazing. Well, I'm very happy for you. That sounds great. And now your day can get even better, because guess what? You're here on the stream, you know, your nightly routine, the daily live stream. Here we are. We're back. And Ken would rather just explore what's already known to the world but unknown to me. Well, that's just traveling. That's just being a tourist. Yeah. Different things, Ken. Different things. But yes, I do get what you're saying. Kim, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the community. Meaning, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the community. Thanks, Uber. I appreciate that very much. And Moon, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the community. What's going on? Ray, welcome into the stream. Kira, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the community. And Uber, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the community. Remy says, this stream is my most favorite, though. Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. It's time for your day to get even better. Because you're in your favorite place now. You're in your favorite place now. Here we are, baby. I wish you didn't have to miss the Twitch stream that we had earlier as well. As you know, we do our gaming and YouTube reaction stream together before our Just Chatting stream over here on TikTok. But it's too bad you had to miss that one. I know you're following over there, but you're in the Discord as well, Remy. So you should be getting the notifications from Discord that I send out to everybody. I tag you all in it, and I let you know when every stream is starting. And yeah, you're following over there too. Yeah, guys, turn on your Twitch notifications, or make sure your Discord notifications are turned on too, because I always send out a notification when I'm going live, every time, for that live stream and for this one. So yeah. I achieve this video quality by having good equipment and doing the absolute most to give you guys the best quality audio and video as I possibly can. I always go the extra mile for you guys. Always. And if TikTok weren't going to allow me to use my professional gear that I use for my YouTube videos for you guys, for my Twitch streams with you guys, then I wouldn't have come over to TikTok. So thankfully, they were able to make it possible for me to come over here and stay off of Twitch for the most part, at least for my Just Chatting stuff. And so here we are. Momo, thanks for sharing the live. Much love. Livy, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You're not getting any notifications, but they're turned on. Well, I can tell you this. Between, I don't know, I want to say, I don't know. And it's hard with the time zones too. It's hard with the time zones too, because I could say between 8 and 10, but you'd have to then convert that to your own time zone. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be between, it's just such a wide swath of time. It's so hard for me to say. Like, in my time, it could be anywhere between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. that I start the Twitch live stream. So you've got to figure out your notifications. Maybe your notifications in your phone settings are turned off, but your in-app notifications are turned on. It could be the inverse. I would, Ken. I think it's objectively traveling. You have to travel to go wherever you want to go to explore. Now, if you're just talking about, exploring ideas that you don't have to go anywhere for, then okay. But that isn't at all what Anne was asking. You're either traveling or being a tourist if you're just going places that everyone knows about, but you haven't gotten to know yet or seen yet. Unless you want to clarify and tell me exactly what you're talking about, in which case I will say, oh, okay, then that's not traveling. That's not that's not just being a tourist somewhere. And again, no knocking on, I'm not knocking on tourists or traveling. Good for you. If you want to play it safe and just kind of go visit some wonders of the world that everyone knows about, but you haven't seen them yet for yourself, guess what? I want to go check out a lot of things too. I'd like to go travel. I'd like to go be a, not so much a tourist, but I'd at least like to travel and take in culture and beautiful things in the world that everybody knows about. There's a difference between adventuring, exploring, and traveling, of course. And that's kind of the dichotomy there. Yeah, or ex May, or however you want me to say it there. Um, yeah, going the extra mile for people is great, and typically people pick up on that, and they appreciate it, and they respect it, even if it's what they've always known. Those people that come into this stream, they even if they don't necessarily know how much of an extra mile I go for you guys to give you the best of the best and give you the best time and the best quality that I can, there's still something that that you just feel about it. There's just something special about that business or that company or that person or that stream, whatever it might be. Thank you, Aura. I appreciate that very much. Definitely don't lose your job, Amira. What's going on, Bree? And thank you for the follow. Welcome to the community. Any advice to have better memory? Yeah, well, I mean, there's different supplements that you can take. Memory can be heavily influenced by diet as well, but it can also be heavily influenced by supplementation around your diet. If you're not getting enough omega-3s per day, that can be an issue for your brain health. If you're not getting enough alpha GPC per day, that can be a problem. It is a problem. Things like that. Also, you can train your brain and work that muscle. Like I said the other day in the other stream, keep your brain plastic. Always be learning new things. Play simple memorization games and things like that. Also, exercise or a lack thereof directly affects how well your brain functions in addition to diet and the other things that I mentioned. So yeah, those are some of the basic ones anyway, some of the real basic ones. Like, of course, you can get into more in-depth supplementation, more niche supplementation, nootropics and things like that. But I'm sure those are the first bases that I'd recommend to cover before we got into anything deeper on that front. Thank you for the 34K likes, guys. You're amazing. How amazing you are. How beautiful. Just 1 second. Oh yeah, Anna. Amira actually said what her job was earlier in the stream. But obviously you missed it. But yeah, she did say it. That's great, Remy. Yeah, I wasn't saying that that the time, like, that you'd be asleep. I just meant that you need to know when I'm going to start it, or else you're going to miss it in terms of the stream and when it starts. Hello, Lee. Yeah, I mean, you can take notes, but it's fabrics. Sean, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the community. I'm glad, Lee. That's very good. I hope you had a good time. Advice to quit? Yeah, damn. I don't know. It's something that I think that a lot of times, if you really boil it down, people that are addicted to something end up replacing the addiction with another addiction. And that's kind of one of the only ways because you have to fill that hole with something else, and the key is to fill it with something positive, something that's going to benefit you, because there are very positive addictions that you can have, for sure, 100%. So that would be my advice, try and take up something that you're interested in and really get into it. Give all of yourself to it. That may be beneficial. Well, being an explorer and an adventurer, in a lot of cases, I mean, you can find plenty of niche circumstances for it to where it's not unknown. You can go explore France, but again, I would say that's traveling. Or you could go like somewhere that no one's ever gone before and explore that and adventure it. You know? What's going on, Chloe? For sure, Amira, you know where to find the stream once it's over. Yeah, like I said, whether it's the gym, whether it's snacking, whatever it might be, you are replacing that addiction with another addiction. Just make sure it's positive and it's beneficial to your life, because there's no use in replacing it with something that is detrimental to your life, or even worse than that already was to begin with. Good night to you, Momo. We'll see you tomorrow. Yes, we will. Whoops. I was trying to go under. I keep hitting it on my arm. There we go. What's up, Ashton? Welcome to the stream. Addiction does come from very explainable physiological mechanisms, but the reason that you initially decided, essentially, to get into that addiction, which wasn't a conscious decision. Nobody sits there and says, I really wish I could get addicted to this terrible thing. But the reasons, the underlying issues are very complex. And if you want to understand the reason why you happen to jump into that bad thing, then therapy can help, and you'll understand maybe the reasons why. And then what the therapist will tell you to do after you've understood why is you're like, okay, cool, now I know why. Now, what the heck do I do? Then the therapist will tell you exactly what I told you, which is to, and they're not going to say become addicted. They're not going to use that like crazy trigger word on you. But in different words, they will tell you to replace it with something productive and get very involved in that thing, because you are someone with an addictive personality, clearly, and you need something to throw yourself into. They become addicted to things that damage their health, Ken, because in a lot of cases, the things that damage your health feel really good to do. They feel really good to do, whatever it might be, if it's a drug or something. Usually it will spike some sort of neurochemical that causes pleasure for you, and you get addicted to that feeling. And in a lot of cases with certain substances, certain ones, your brain really stops producing those neurochemicals in a lot of cases. And so you are then left feeling even worse than you did before you even took it. And now it's a cycle of abuse, Crap. I went at it the wrong way. Boom. There we go. Keep messing up the last bit of it, though. I keep hitting it on my arm, too. Boom. There we go. Good for you, Lee. That's incredible. I hope you had a good time. I sure do. Boop, 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 boo. It's funny because you would think that like weekend streams are typically more busy and a lot more chaotic, but they're actually usually the opposite. Hence this stream and every other weekend stream we do. Just because typically it's people have plans on the weekends. Like people are out doing things, or they're busy until really late or whatever it might be. So here we are. Here we are. Like I said, Anna, it's pretty calm today, just like it is every weekend for those reasons. Oh, you certainly can stop, Ken. Of course you can stop. But the addiction makes you not want to stop. You can stop anything anytime you want. However, in the throes of addiction, it's just extremely hard to do that. It's extremely hard. And a lot of people, they just need a lot of assistance and a lot of help in order to achieve abstinence from whatever substance you might be in the throes of. And I understand that as a child, you are not going to understand the complexities of issues, especially as your cerebral cortex hasn't even come close to fully forming. That is definitely understandable. Son, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the community. Remy, you sorted the notification issue. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, Discord notification settings can be kind of confusing a little bit, so that's great you've sorted it out, though. Very good. Hello. And I'm good. The real question is, how are you? Of course, I'm asking you that before you even asked it, because, or telling you that before you even asked it, because I know. I know how you operate. What's going on, Renzo? Thanks for the follow, Melody. Welcome to the community. Um, since I'm an intuitive person, do I usually go with my gut feeling? Not all the time, no. Um, intuition isn't everything at all. Humans are so fallible, like the senses and things like that. You can influence somebody's perception so easily. Like when you look into the psychological studies behind witness statements and things like that in when it comes to crime and stuff like that, it's easy to fall into a feeling that just might be fallacious. But um, the thing is, you can go on the basis of both. It's all about kind of trying to pick between the two, or deciding how much credence to give either one. Really, I try to operate on the most logical and reasonable basis that I can. And of course, I do incorporate some gut feeling into the equation. Um, but, anyways, the simple answer is not always. Not always, definitely not. And I try to operate on reason and logic as much as I can, which does sometimes require intuition in and of itself. So, Melody, thanks for liking the live. Yeah, Remy, exactly. But now you've got it. Now you've got it. Favorite movie soundtrack? Great question. Either Lord of the Rings or Pirates of the Caribbean. Great question. And yeah, my eyes are actually blue, but the white balance and the green wall behind me can make it seem like they're green. But I'm glad you like my eyes, and I'm glad you like my tone and my voice. Yeah, that's definitely a constant for a lot of people, especially with the voice. Um, I know you guys love it and appreciate it. And I love and appreciate you. So, hey. It is nice, Anna. I know. What's going on, Layla? Welcome to the stream. Well, I've just been asked 6 different questions in the past 5 minutes. So, we're basically talking about whatever comes through the chat or whatever the chat is talking about. Maybe I'll go on a little longer about a certain thing. But typically, the chat decides where we go. Indeed, Remy, the famous mug. Indeed. Yeah. It's really, really best for the general outcome of your life, considering your life is literally the sum total of a series of choices and experiences that you have to contend with and make. Now, if you're making the logical choice, let's just say, thought experiment. If you had to make the emotional choice in every single choice that you're presented with in your life, versus if you had to make the logical choice within every single choice that you were ever given for the rest of your life, from the beginning of your life to the end of your life, I mean, in either one of these situations, If you take the logical choice, you will end up in a far better place every single time. Every single time. So yes, generally the logical situation is, taking the logical route is going to be the far better choice every single time. Every single time. Human emotion, humans, I mean, part of the reason why humans are so fallible is because they have emotion and they operate off of emotion a lot. And as much as they try not to, they do sometimes do. You know, it's how it works. It's just how it is. Emotions, we evolved emotions to help us survive, and they are so deeply ingrained in us, baby. They sure are. Melody says you should definitely do audio reading. Yeah, thank you. A lot of you guys have said that, and yeah. I haven't been to Lowe's, and I don't think I've ever been to Lowe's, so that's interesting. Thanks for sharing the live, Ronald. And yeah, Layla, I know. Oh crap, Melody. So yeah, a lot of you guys have said that about the audiobooks. You'd love to have me do a podcast or read audiobooks, things like that. And I love it. You know, I love to hear that. Incredible compliment. And I do music. If you are new to the stream and you've literally just found me through the stream, well, you can hear my voice at least singing. Now, of course, you've got essentially a podcast here on the stream every single night. And of course, additionally to that, you have 3 different YouTube channels, two and tons of hours of content for you to listen to more podcasts from me, which are essentially, you know, stuff from the stream or literally the full stream uploaded as an archive, like all those different things that we have. So, yeah. Layla, yep. It was about what crimes? Oh, yeah, it was a question I was answering, like I said. You know, questions get asked a million miles a minute, and subjects change every few minutes or every minute, you know, it depends. But yes, it was a question asking if because I'm an intuitive person, do I usually go with my gut feeling? And so I was making, with the crime stuff, I was making an example to illustrate how fallible gut feelings can be and just human senses and things like that. Yeah, most people do think my eyes are green if they're just operating on what they're seeing here on the live stream screen. No, you're good, Amir. You don't act like a robot. No, it doesn't stop me from moving my finger. As you can see, it doesn't go over my knuckle, does it? What's going on, Luna? Welcome back. Thanks for the heart me, Zoe, and thanks for the heart me, Aqua. And those are some nice stickers. They are not the Jackson Downer stickers, but there's some, you know, there's some cool stickers. Like I already said, Batty, no, they're not. They're not. They're blue. They're gray blue, in fact. But like I said, due to the white balance of the camera and the tricks of the wall behind me being played on you, they appear to be green. Of course they do. Typically, yeah, like the surrounding, then the light reflecting off of the color of whatever room you're in can really influence the perception of color to the observer. Very interesting. That's okay, Batty. No worries. Yep, they appear hazel on the screen for sure, or green, or whatever you wanna, whatever variant you could give me there. Thanks for liking the live as well, Batty. I'm glad you're almost home. Luna. Ooh, I love those stickers, Aqua. There we go. Jackson Downer stickers. Let's go. What kind of jobs have I had in the past? Many. I've had many. But probably my favorite one was the one that I can't really talk too much about because it's the same kind of stuff that I do now, but it taught me a lot of skills, and it also was my favorite because it taught me the skills that I needed to be able to actually start my business and do what I'm doing. So, of course, when I say that, it makes it sound like, oh, do what I'm doing. Like, I'm not also streaming and doing music and things like that, but one of the three big things that I do. And so it's part of a very large part of the reason why I even got into doing what my business is all about. And so, yeah. Yes, Ken, I say it all the time. I sure do. Amira asks great questions, and she's very, very good in the chat. Very, very good in the chat. It is people like Amira and even you, Ken, who the entire community has to thank, because otherwise the rest of the community would be sitting here listening to basically nothing. So yeah. It's necessary. It's everything. Now, granted, I always say this. The thing is, of course, those of you who aren't in the chat, who don't care to really be saying things in the chat for whatever reason you might have, that's totally fine too. I love you guys too. I love just my listeners in addition. I sure do. So don't think that that's any. I'm just saying that the people that are in the chat, that are super involved in the chat, are, the rest of you who are just listeners, you have them to thank. And the better the questions, the better the information, or the better the live stream, let's say, in general, that all of the listeners, including the people who are in the chat, get to receive. So you are at the foundation of it, I mean, I get it. I think that just listening to the stream like a podcast, or watching and listening to the stream like a YouTube video or whatever it might be, is a great way to do it. And more power to you. Please do it. Please do it. But you don't, I promise you, Batty, you don't have to have good questions. You don't have to ask anything. You don't have to be in the chat at all. But that's just how it goes. Ken does cheer, Amira. Ken does cheer. Lynn, hello. Welcome to the stream. What's going on, Goat? Welcome to the stream. Batty, thanks for liking the live. And again, like that too. That helps massively, right? Like Batty, how you were saying you don't know what questions to ask. Well, your way of supporting can just be as simple as liking the live and sharing the live, things like that. That is hugely important to the community and to me as well. So, hey Maggie, welcome to the stream. What's going on? Thank you, Goat. I appreciate that. I'm glad you think so. And Lynn, thank you for liking the live. Much love. 40K likes, baby. Well, we're almost there. I can't say it yet. 39 right now. I try my best to answer all you guys. Yeah. Well, Alicia, I didn't have long hair in high school, nor did I have a face tattoo in high school. So your mom probably would have loved me, to be honest. Even though, unfortunately, it is really sad how parents do that because, it's extremely close minded. But in high school, I had my sleeve tattoo. I did have my full sleeve tattoo in high school, but I didn't have this kind of long hair. And I did have long hair some years in high school, but other years I didn't. You only date guys with long hair. Got it. Dodged a bullet with that. Jeez. If I was dating you and I cut my hair, you'd break up with me. Yikes. Yeah, no, Anna, I always try my best. I always try my best to answer everybody as best I can. Amira loves cheer. Love that. Marcelo, you're watching a movie right now. Let's go. Movie quality. I give you guys the best and nothing but. Made in. Greetings to you too. Goat, yes. The generation is the generation, Savage, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the community. Lynn, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the community. You mean creepy, Zoe? Yeah, I just scrolled down. Well, you can go to my social media and scroll maybe down a half an inch and you'll see me without long hair. Literally one of the first photos on TikTok is me with barely long hair at all. And Zoe, you've been following me for many, many months, so I'm sure you've seen it. Batty, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the community. Thank you for answering for me, Ken. Thank you, Meds. I appreciate that very much. Glad you think so. Nicole, thanks. I'm glad that you like my music. And yeah, of course. Yeah, just search my name on Spotify, Apple Music, any music streaming site, YouTube, whatever you use, you'll find me for sure. And welcome to the stream as well. Ivy, what are you doing over there? Huh? What a good girl she is. She really is so cute. Yes, indeed, Anna. She is here. Oh, yeah. I'm not saying anything about parents. I'm really more just making a greater point about people who are extremely judgmental in terms of if person looks like A, then that equals B. If we put it into a logical syllogism, person looks like this, or A equals B. But A doesn't always equal B. If you look like, if you're like a girl, let's say, and you're goth, if my parents automatically thought that you were I don't know, a serial killer or a drug addict based on the fact that you were goth, and literally, hated my girlfriend who I started dating purely based on her looks without getting to know her at all, and making all of these irrational judgments on that person due to how they look, that is absolutely illogical insanity. And that's all I'm talking about. Now, it doesn't have to be parents. It's anyone who operates on absolute spurious logic like that. That's all it is. And it's not just our parents, and it's not just the generations before us, and it's not, like, it can be anyone of any age. Ivy is very cute, Zoe. My day's going good, Teresa. How's yours? Ivy, Anna says hello. She looked at me like this. Yeah, I know. You were exploring a little bit, weren't you? That's awesome, Batty. Good for you. Yeah. Now, the difference is obviously, like, you can look different to people and they can give you those looks, but like, people can think you look different or look weird to them. People can think you look beautiful or ugly. It's all subjective. But the second that you start actually making judgments based on how someone looks, what if that person had a different skin color and you were operating on that the logic is the same. The logic is literally the same. That person has blue hair. Well, they must be a criminal, or they must be very low intelligence, or whatever it might be. That person has this certain skin color. They must be unintelligent, or maybe they're a criminal, blah, blah, blah. It's all that same terrible, spurious logic that takes you down a road, if you follow it to its logical conclusion, into very bad places that we have been in before. At least maybe not us, but the human race, and certain countries and things like that. So we really don't. I hate that. I hate it so much. She was kind of wondering who Anna was. Yeah, I think that must have been what it was. She's like, "What are you saying to me?" Good for you, Zoe. That'll be good to get that off. I'm glad that you had a good situation with it. Yeah, I mean, my parents aren't bikers or hippies or anything. They're just like pretty normal folks, and they they never, treated me different. Granted, because you're someone's own child, they kind of are more biased. Typically, your own parents, they might disagree with your choices or whatever it might be, but they're not going to like sit there and be like, yeah, I have this, they're not going to operate on that logic that I was talking about before. It's really the logic, that logic comes into play when it's somebody outside of your immediate circle where you get into trouble with these sort of things. Like um, the parents, the example I gave with your parents disliking somebody based on them having a different color hair, a different color skin, or a different style than they're used to, or whatever it might be. It's just ridiculous. It's crazy. It's illogical. That's what it is. I've heard them, McKinley, but I don't regularly listen to them. Good question, though. My parents know that I'm a streamer, but they aren't on TikTok, and they might have seen my, as many of you guys know, like, there's multiple YouTube channels full of stream content, and literally there's one dedicated to the entire stream gets uploaded to it, for those of you to go back and watch again, or watch parts you missed, or catch up on streams before you ever even knew about the community, things like that. And also, there's tons and tons and tons of shorts and reels and short vertical video, TikTok, whatever sort of content that are out as clips from the stream. So, of course, my parents have inevitably run into content from the streams, but have they attended the stream as it's live? No, definitely not. they would have had to be seeing it from a platform that they actually are on, that they actually have. That's great, Lee. I'm glad that you were able to get the ashes. I'm sorry to hear your cat passed away, though. Yeah, I like metal. I don't listen to Godsmack and Slipknot very much, but I know of them and I like them. You know, they're just not like in my regular rotation or in my playlist, so to speak. Thank you, Goat. I'm glad you find that wise. Josie, hello, welcome to the stream. Angry, yes, open a portal. And good night to you, and I will see you tomorrow. What do I listen to? Jeez. I'll tell you what. I will tell you what. Like I said, metal. Are you? Well, you may not be asking the genres. I mean, I'm always listening to something different. I'm always listening to many different things, honestly. But it's typically like more post-hardcore, pop punk, and progressive sort of metal in a lot of cases, and metalcore. If we are just speaking on the metal genre, anyway. If we're just speaking on the metal genre, then that is kind of what I would say in terms of the genres. Zoe, thanks for the pop. The pop. Lynn, thanks for the Heart Puff ×5. And Maggie, thanks for the Heart Puff ×1. Yes, Beef, I feel it. I feel it. Goat, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the community. What's going on? It's Horde. Ozzy's good. I've heard Ozzy's music and Black Sabbath's music many times in my life, but do I regularly listen to it like in my playlist? No, but I know many of his songs by heart, because I grew up with that sort of stuff. My parents always listened to it, and it was always on the radio and things like that. So, Tord, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the community. Thank you for the love you so much and the heart puff, Zoe. Lil Peep is good. Is he in my typical like playlist, my regular rotation? Is he in my playlist at all? No, but I do like him, and I think his music's good. And I wouldn't actually mind having him in my playlist in terms of my more hip hop and alternative hip hop sort of playlist. For sure, for sure. You shouldn't. I mean, it's not just metal, Beef. I promise you that it's not just metal. Actually, one of the worst in terms of volume concerts I ever went to, and I'm not kidding. I went to Motorhead, before Lemmy died. I attended a Motorhead concert, which Motorhead is touted as the most unnecessarily loud rock band that ever has existed on purpose. Like, they purposely just do that. And here's the thing. Even worse than that was an EDM show that I went to. I went to an EDM show that had my ears ringing for weeks afterward. And of course, I never recovered. So, it's not that bad. It goes away to a degree. But seriously, guys, if you are going to any sort of concert, wear earplugs, even though it might dampen your experience slightly. Like, seriously, you will have tinnitus for the rest of your life. Like, you really will have a noticeable ringing in your ears. And for some people, it can literally drive you insane. For some people, it's so bad that they will unalive themselves due to this. Others can drown it out and sort of distract themselves from it, but it's always there. It's always there. And I'm not surprised that you almost did, Beef. I'm not surprised at all. I'm really not. Nicole, I don't really have a favorite band, so I usually just kind of give the cheat answer and say me. I'm my own favorite artist because, as many of you guys know, unless you're brand new to the stream, as all of you know, unless you're new to the stream, I am a musician. I put out music for you guys all the time. So that is one of the things I'm known for. So I'll go with myself. Kamiria, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the community. What's favorite song that's not yours? You know I can't answer that. I don't have favorite songs or favorite artists. Remy says, my parents were obsessed with Ozzy, but then they found out he passed away and they cried and had a drink to honor him. Hey, fair enough. Well, that's good that they were sad about it. And they honored him the way that they should. You know? Almost like a long lost friend. Yeah, definitely, Beef. It's hard. It's hard on your ears. And yeah, I already said, I'm not surprised you almost unalived for that. Like, I'm really not. Wow, Lauren, that's wild. That must have been a good show, actually. Wow. Yeah, you need to wear earplugs, Ken. It's not an option, period. You don't get your hearing back when you damage it. It doesn't happen. When your hearing is damaged, it stays damaged forever, and you can never fix it. And that other than the tinnitus, on top of the tinnitus, just to make matters worse, it just makes you hard of hearing. Like, it makes you have to struggle to hear people around you even, things like that. Like, hearing damage is so preventable. So preventable. So just prevent it. That's cool, Zoe. I'm sorry for your friend, though. Good night, Lee. Mayhem Fest is a good fest, for sure. Yes, it's not just live shows that does it toward. Exactly. A lot of kids, especially younger kids, they think it's really cool, like super cool, to crank their music up to absolute 100 and make it so that everyone else can hear the music outside of their ears and everything. It is an irreversible mistake that you're making. And, as a kid, a lot of times everybody's got those kids in their school that like just thought that was so cool to do and always did it and wanted to listen to it as loud as possible, even just for their own enjoyment. It's so bad. And headphones can be even worse because it's direct in to your eardrum. Direct in. Have I experienced hearing damage? For sure. Like I said, the worst in terms of volume concert I ever went to was, like I was saying, was a EDM concert, and my ears were ringing for weeks afterward. And this was before I understood and practiced my own advice that I'm giving now, which is protect your ears, because I didn't protect my ears during that concert, and it was a huge mistake. I didn't realize or know, because I was young. Like, I was really quite young, and I didn't know these things yet because I was so young that I wasn't well versed enough in the things that I'm versed in now to ever know. It doesn't have to be dangerous to put advice or put advice. Sorry, Shay, you got me in your head there. In my head. It's not dangerous to put both headphones into both ears if you're listening at a safe volume, but the best advice I'd give to someone younger than me, Summer, don't listen to music too loud in your headphones, and when you go to concerts live, wear ear protection. Because I was just talking about this, and like saying I was too young to even know or realize, and a lot of these mistakes happen when you're young, blah 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 blah. But no, of course that's not the best advice I could or would give, but I would give it, and I think that younger people need to hear it. Period. But I don't know, you know, man, I've talked about it a lot before. Do what you truly want to do in life. Like really try and follow the path of doing things that you want to do, because because life is a lot shorter than you think. And don't wish your life away. That's another huge one that I always talk about. Don't sit there wishing that you could finally drive a car and that's all you care about, or that you finally wish you could graduate high school or graduate junior high or whatever. Because when you're younger, time seems to pass very, very slow, because psychologically and perceptually it does pass way slower for you, for many reasons, and that I've gone into in the past in depth, but I won't go into those. Don't wish your life away. Actually experience the moments that are so important in your life that you'll always be thinking back on, and you'll be wishing that you were back in those moments. In a lot of cases, you'll miss them, and they're very formative years of your life. Also, just for your own benefit and your own perspective, it's not very healthy to be constantly wishing you were anywhere but where you are. Enjoy the moment, love it, and be there. Exist in it. Feel it. No, I'm not, user. Derek, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the community. A good Netflix show to watch. I don't really watch TV or movies, but if I had to, from like something I've seen in the past, I would say you should watch one of the best shows that ever has existed. You know, there's only a few of those. An easy one is Breaking Bad. You know, if you haven't seen Breaking Bad, watch that. But I'm not the right person to ask, honestly. If I'm going to watch something, it's going to be educational in some way. I'm going to gain some sort of intellectual benefit from it, whether it be a documentary or a actual biography, like accurate biography or something like that. It's got to be factual and beneficial to me, other than just entertainment value. Yeah, Summer, of course. It affects anyone that goes. It affects anyone that doesn't wear ear protection or listen to headphones at a safe volume. It sure does. No, Sila, of course I'm not AI, but I do usually get a comment or a question asking that exact question every single stream, so it's okay. And I take it as a compliment. No, I am not. I don't think you're even still here, Summer, so I don't know why I'm even answering any questions anymore. No, I certainly did follow the advice I gave. That's not why I give the advice. Why would I just only give advice because I didn't follow it? You said give you the best advice that I could possibly give to somebody. I just know how the human brain works very, very well, and especially from a neuroscience perspective. And so I give when I'm asked for the best advice I could possibly give, I'm giving it because this is the situation that most people experience. So you probably experienced it too. And many people did. Many people do. It's hard to break that spell. It's hard to be, 12 years old and thinking in terms of like what your future self is going to think. It's really hard to extrapolate out like that. So, most people don't follow that advice, and that's why it's one of the best advices you can give, but it's also one of the best advice you can give because it's the kind of advice that can really change your life for the better in a huge way if you could just be wise enough to follow it. But it's really hard to, especially when you go from that, when you are in that perspective and in those shoes. Yes, you got it right, Luna. Thank you for letting me know. Honestly, I don't remember the last documentary I've watched because even when it comes to documentaries, I barely watch those too. It might have been a biography, though, like a documentary biography of one of the presidents of the United States in the past or something like that. Maybe, but this was months ago. Months ago. I enjoy many things, Beef, but that doesn't mean that I spend my time doing them. You know what I mean? Everything that I do, I also enjoy, but I like and enjoy most when I am truly benefiting and not just from a pure entertainment perspective. Only a pure entertainment perspective. We're talking about literally anything and everything, love, because as you can see, I'm just going through and answering every single message and every single question in the chat. So it's not a matter of we're talking about one big block of a thing. We're talking about many different things at once because I'm going through and responding to each of you, giving each of you my attention. Angry, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the community. There you go, Camiria. There you go. Look at that. Sounds good. Remy, have a good day. Sorry to hear that, Sydney. I'm sorry to hear that. I got to the bottom. Luna, thank you for the star times 19 and the love you so much times 6. GI, thank you for the star. Goat, thank you for the rose. Luna, thank you for the star times 167. Let's go. Luna, thank you for the finger heart times 1. No, but I have favorite types of food, Favorite types of food, things like, I mean, I've said this a billion times, but I don't know which of you has heard them all billion times that I've said it, or how many haven't. And there's a lot of new people all the time. We're always growing the community, so I'll give you it again. And that answer to that question is Thai food and Indian food, and those are the top two. And if I had to go with like a third honorable mention, it'd be probably like Mexican food. Anything that at its core is nothing but, for the most part, I mean, you can make anything unhealthy, right? By like dumping a bunch of meat or cheese on it or whatever. But at its absolute base, cuisines that are extremely healthy inherently, for the most part, with, not given the caveats of that you can make anything unhealthy, are things that I love a lot. Because things that aren't immediately made to just have a bunch of like I said, meat and cheese dumped on them, mean that they actually have to be spiced and have proper vegetables added to them and things like that to actually make them taste good, to actually creatively make them taste good. But when you have to do that, it makes them extremely healthy and diverse as well, because those are the most healthiest things you can possibly consume. And so, yes, those would be my favorite 3 types of cuisines. And you're very welcome, Amira. You're very welcome. That would be amazing. That would be amazing because, yeah, Amira, like, give it a shot if you can. If you can relearn it and you think you can do it, then do it. You should. That'll be amazing for you. That'll be amazing for you. There you go, Camaria. Nice quote. Yeah, I'm happy to provide. I'm happy to provide the advice and help you out, Amira, and help everybody out who's listening, who wants to know. And I hope you don't lose it. Like, that would be absolutely terrible. I don't want that to happen at all. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Don't worry too much about anything if you're not able to change it currently. That is the key. Just 1 second. What are you doing, Ivy? What is she doing over here? I guess she's just chilling. Okay. Yeah, and Luna, I absolutely love providing you help and advice as well. I sure do. Yeah, I get it. I get it, Amira. I do. It's tough. It's tough. It is mindset. A lot of it is mindset for sure. And yeah. What the heck was I going to say though? Oh, yeah. Some people, and it's not some people, it's most people, like your initial thought and mental state is to really, really, really worry and stress yourself out about something. Let's say you did something awful, or not awful, but you made a mistake at your job on Friday. You now have the weekend and you're going to go back to work on Monday. It's very easy to worry, stress, all the way through the weekend into Monday. But when you really sit back and think about it, that worry and stress is doing absolutely nothing for you at all, other than providing you with a extremely high dose of cortisol, stress, and it's just making you feel terrible. Well, what's the point of that? What's the benefit of that? You made the mistake. You're going to fix it if you're given the opportunity. Now, maybe you are going to lose your job on Monday. Maybe. But worry about that if and when you get that news. Try not to stress about things that you can't control, because that mistake's already occurred. Thank you, Luna. I thank you for appreciating it. Okay. I think we'll wrap it up on that note. We've been live for over 2 hours. It's 3 in the morning here for me. So let's wrap it. Now, I will see you all tomorrow on Twitch. Before the TikTok live stream, we do our Twitch live stream. For those of you who want the extra time with me. So, if you are not following me over on Twitch, get following me over there. And I will see you there tomorrow for a couple hours before the couple hours we do here. The Twitch streams only happen on the weekends, so they are fairly exclusive. I will see you guys tomorrow there and here. I love you all very much and appreciate you all very much. And thank you for a great night. I will see you soon. Much love to you all. And thank you, Amira. I appreciate it. And good night to you too. Thank you, Luna. I appreciate it. And good night to you too. I love you all. Of course, the stream, this full stream, will be uploaded tomorrow on YouTube at exactly 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, as will the Twitch stream. So, see you then, my loves. Good night. And